Chosen one. 10 gifts you should never accept from anyone. Stoicism. Beware of what you accept, for it may shape your destiny in ways you do not desire. Seneca. Throughout our lives, we encounter countless offers, gifts, and opportunities, many of which seem harmless, even beneficial on the surface. But as Stoics, we must be ever vigilant about what we allow into our lives. Every decision, every acceptance, has the potential to influence our character, our peace of mind, and ultimately, our path. In this video on Stoic in Your Life, we're diving into a topic that is crucial for anyone committed to living with wisdom and purpose. 10 gifts you should never accept from anyone. These are not just physical objects, but also emotional and mental burdens that can subtly erode your Stoic foundation. This isn't about living in fear or paranoia. It's about understanding that true freedom comes from discerning what serves your highest good and what doesn't. As Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer understanding of the boundaries you need to set, not just with others, but within yourself to maintain your inner peace and strength. So, without further delay, let's explore the 10 things you must refuse to protect your Stoic journey. Number 1. Items connected to idol worship or the occult. In a world filled with temptations and seemingly innocuous offerings, it's crucial to understand that not everything that glitters is gold. The objects you allow into your life, particularly those connected to spiritual practices that contradict your values, can carry a weight far beyond their physical presence. The first gift you should never accept is anything associated with idol worship or the occult. These items, whether they are trinkets from distant lands or artifacts of cultural significance, may appear harmless on the surface, but they can open doorways to negative forces that you might not even realize are at work. The wisdom from Deuteronomy 7:25-26 is timeless. You shall burn the carved images of their gods with fire. You shall not covet the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it for yourselves, lest you be snared by it, for it is an abomination to the Lord your God. This command to the Israelites was clear. Certain objects are not just physical items, but bearers of spiritual dangers. The same principle holds true today. While the context may differ, the essence remains. Modern life often presents us with symbols, art, and objects that seem beautiful or intriguing, yet they are rooted in practices and beliefs that contradict the core values of Stoic living. These objects, if welcomed into your home, can act as magnets for trouble, introducing energies that disturb the peace and order you've worked hard to cultivate. Consider the account from Acts 19, where new believers, recognizing the peril of their past attachments, publicly burned their occult items, books, and symbols. The value of these items was immense, 50,000 pieces of silver, yet they did not hesitate to destroy them, understanding that their true wealth lay in their newfound commitment to a higher path. This act was not merely symbolic, it was a powerful declaration that they would no longer allow their lives to be influenced by forces that do not align with their spiritual journey. In our modern lives, it's easy to be drawn to the exotic, the mysterious, and the seemingly benign representations of different cultures. However, the Stoic approach advises us to look beyond appearances and consider the deeper implications of the things we bring into our lives. Just as you would be cautious about the thoughts and ideas you entertain in your mind, so too should you be vigilant about the physical items you surround yourself with. The connection between the mind, body, and spirit is profound, and anything that disrupts this harmony can lead to unrest, confusion, and even destruction. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminds us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This includes the subtle influences that come from the objects around us. By allowing certain items into your home, you might be unknowingly inviting chaos and negativity. Therefore, it's essential to regularly examine your surroundings and ask yourself, does this object serve my growth, my peace, my Stoic journey? If the answer is no, it may be time to let it go. no matter how valuable or beautiful it may seem. Our material world is full of objects that carry meanings, histories, and energies. As modern Stoics, we must cultivate a discerning eye and a cautious heart, understanding that not every gift is worth receiving. In fact, some gifts, while seemingly generous, can be Trojan horses that bring harm into our lives under the guise of kindness or beauty. The wise man knows that his peace and spiritual well-being are far more valuable than any material possession, no matter how precious. So, as you navigate the complexities of life, remember to pray over your home, your space, and your mind. Seek the guidance of the Holy Spirit, or your inner wisdom, to reveal anything that does not serve your highest good. By doing so, you protect not just your home but your soul from the subtle yet significant influences that can derail your Stoic path. In a world full of distractions and diversions, maintaining this clarity is not just a practice. It's a necessity for anyone seeking to live a life of true wisdom and peace. As you reflect on this, recall the words of Seneca. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Apply this principle to the spiritual and emotional realm as well. What you allow into your life should contribute to your tranquility, not detract from it. In the end, the gifts you choose to refuse can be as crucial to your well-being as those you choose to accept. Number 2. Items your spirit feels restless about. There are times in life when you may come across a gift or an item that, despite its appearance or the good intentions behind it, stirs something unsettling deep within you. Perhaps you can't pinpoint exactly why, but there's a nagging feeling of unease that you just can't shake. This isn't just random anxiety. It's often your inner wisdom, or as some may call it, the Spirit of God, guiding you to be cautious. It's as if there's a silent alarm going off inside, urging you to be wary. This feeling is not something to ignore because it's a signal that something might be off about this gift, no matter how innocuous it seems. The Bible in Proverbs 14:15 wisely tells us, "The simple believes every word, but the prudent man looks well to his going." This ancient wisdom reminds us that not every gift is meant to be accepted, especially if it comes with strings attached that we cannot see. Consider the story of Prophet Elisha, who, after performing a miracle of healing for Naaman, chose to refuse the gifts offered to him. Elisha understood that accepting these gifts could compromise his faith, as God had clearly instructed the Israelites not to accept anything from idolatrous nations. Elisha's refusal was not just about rejecting material goods, but about preserving the purity of his spiritual path. Another powerful example is found in the story of Daniel, who refused to eat food offered to him by the king. Daniel sensed that accepting this food would violate his principles and compromise his integrity. His refusal wasn't just about the physical act of eating, but about remaining true to his convictions in the face of subtle pressures. These stories resonate even in modern life. Have you ever received a gift that, despite its value or the kindness with which it was given, made you feel uneasy? Perhaps it was a wedding gift from someone whose intentions towards you were questionable, and shortly after accepting it, you noticed a string of troubles beginning to unfold in your life. This isn't mere superstition, it's a reminder to trust your instincts. Now you might think, why not just pray over the gift and cancel any negative intentions? While prayer is undoubtedly powerful and essential, there's also wisdom in avoiding unnecessary spiritual entanglements. It's similar to the situation Jesus faced when he was tempted to turn stones into bread. Even though he had the power to do so, he chose not to because it would have been a test of his divine authority that wasn't necessary. This teaches us that sometimes the best course of action is not to engage at all, rather than trying to fix something that shouldn't have been accepted in the first place. 1 Corinthians 10:21 clearly states, "You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons too. You cannot have a part in both the Lord's table and the table of demons." This scripture is a stark reminder that we cannot mix what is sacred with what is profane, and this applies not only to our spiritual practices, but also to the physical objects we allow into our lives. If something feels wrong, It probably is, and it's better to heed that inner warning than to push it aside out of politeness or obligation. To bring this into a more relatable context, think about the times in your life when you've made decisions that went against your better judgment. Maybe you took a job offer that seemed too good to be true, and sure enough, it led to nothing but stress and problems. Or perhaps you entered into a relationship despite feeling uneasy about the person from the beginning, only to find that your initial instincts were correct. These experiences teach us the value of listening to that quiet, persistent voice inside that warns us when something isn't right. So, the next time you feel that inner restlessness about accepting a gift, remember the stories of Elisha and Daniel, and consider what your spirit is trying to tell you. Ask yourself, is this something I truly want to invite into my life? Does it align with my values and the peace I strive to maintain? Sometimes saying no is the most loving thing you can do for yourself. In a world where we are constantly offered things that seem desirable, it's essential to remember that not all that glitters is gold. Your peace of mind and spiritual well-being are worth more than any gift, no matter how valuable it appears. Trust in the wisdom that has guided countless others before you, and choose to protect your path with the courage to say no when it matters most. Number 3. Gifts inherited from generational lineage. When it comes to the possessions handed down through your family, it's important to remember that not all heirlooms should be cherished or even kept. You see, sometimes the things we inherit from our parents, grandparents, or even great-grandparents carry more than just sentimental value. They can carry spiritual baggage that we may not be aware of. If, for instance, your ancestors were involved in practices like idolatry, witchcraft, or any form of hatred, the objects they passed down could potentially be linked to dark forces. These objects, though seemingly harmless, can serve as conduits for oppressive spirits, even if you, as a believer, have no intention of engaging with such practices. Imagine you've inherited a ritual object from an ancestor who was part of a satanic cult or coven. Even if you're living a life devoted to faith and righteousness, keeping such an item in your home can create an open door for negative spiritual influences. The troubling truth is that while a Christian cannot be possessed by demons, they can still experience oppression. As long as you hold on to these items, there's a risk of spiritual conflict within your home. It's like trying to mix light with darkness. Eventually, one will try to overtake the other. In 2 Corinthians 6:17, God commands, "Come out from among them and be separate, says the Lord. Do not touch what is unclean, and I will receive you." This scripture serves as a powerful reminder that we must be vigilant about the items we allow into our lives, especially those handed down by ancestors who may not have shared our values. While it's true that generational curses are broken at the cross of Christ, this doesn't mean we can be passive about the spiritual environment of our homes. We still have a responsibility to actively remove any unholy artifacts that might be lingering around. Think about it. Would you really want to keep your great-grandmother's occult charms or your grandfather's Masonic ritual items if you knew they could be linked to forces opposed to everything you stand for? It's not about disrespecting your ancestors. It's about ensuring that your home remains a sanctuary of peace and light. To do this, it's essential to get rid of inherited items that carry ungodly ties and to pray over your home, dedicating it wholly to the Lord. The concept of familiar spirits, or spirits that attach themselves to families and refuse to leave, is a real concern. These spirits can linger within a family for generations, and as long as the associated objects remain within the family, the darkness can continue to exert its influence. Even if a gift was given innocently by someone practicing dark magic, it could still serve as a spiritual gateway if kept in your home. This isn't about living in fear. It's about being wise and discerning. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The same applies here. By choosing to remove these items, you are taking a proactive step to protect your spiritual well-being. Why is this so important? Because Satan and his demons are always looking for ways to gain access to our lives, and objects tied to sinful sources can serve as an easy entry point. By holding on to such items, you might inadvertently be providing them with a foothold in your life. This is why it's crucial to be discerning about the things we inherit or receive as gifts, especially when they come from sources that are not aligned with our faith. Of course, this doesn't mean we should shun our family members or those who may be involved in practices we disagree with. Our goal should always be to share the gospel with them, to guide them toward the light. But until they come to a place of repentance, it's best to avoid keeping gifts from them that could have ungodly attachments. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. In the same way, our homes can become influenced by the objects we allow into them. So ask yourself, is this item contributing to the peace and sanctity of my home? Or is it bringing in something darker? This open-ended question invites reflection and helps you make decisions that align with your values and spiritual goals. The lesson here is clear. Be vigilant about what you keep in your home, especially when it comes to items passed down through generations. Not everything that's old is good, and not every gift is worth keeping. By being mindful of the spiritual implications of the objects in your life, you can protect yourself and your loved ones from unnecessary spiritual struggles. The key is to create an environment where light can thrive, free from the shadows of the past. Thank you so much for being part of this video and taking the time to explore these important Stoic principles with us. I'm curious to know, have you ever been in a situation where you had to turn down a gift because it went against your values or beliefs? What was that experience like for you? If you're not sure how to start your comment, feel free to share something like, I once had to refuse a gift because it didn't align with my values, and here's why. I look forward to reading your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Number 4. Rewards of iniquity. Wealth acquired by unjust means is cursed, and it brings ruin, not just to the one who gains it, but to all who partake in it. Marcus Aurelius. In our journey through life, we are often presented with gifts, rewards, and opportunities that seem too good to be true. But as wise men, we must be vigilant about the sources of these offerings. The fourth item you should never accept is the rewards of iniquity. Money, expensive items, or lavish gifts that you know were obtained through dishonest, illegal, or blatantly immoral means. It's tempting to accept something valuable, especially when it's offered freely, but the true cost of accepting such gifts is far greater than their material value. If you are aware that a gift was acquired through nefarious means, such as drug trafficking, embezzlement, tax fraud, or other criminal activities, you must refuse it. Accepting such a gift can taint your spirit and entangle you in the consequences of another's wrongdoing, creating a spiritual defilement by association with unrighteousness. Consider this. If an unbelieving friend offers to take you on a lavish, fully paid vacation, but you know they financed it by cheating on their taxes or through some other deceitful method, the right thing to do is to graciously decline. Participating in the enjoyment of ill-gotten gain, even indirectly, can have repercussions that extend beyond the immediate pleasure of the gift. The same principle applies if you discover that an expensive gift was purchased with funds from a dishonest business scam, mafia connections, or another clearly immoral source. While you may not be directly guilty, accepting these items can link you spiritually to the iniquity, opening doors to negative influences in your life. This is not just a modern concern. It is a principle as old as time itself. In the Bible, in Joshua 7, we learn about Achan, who took plunder that was devoted to destruction, bringing judgment not only upon himself, but upon the entire camp of Israel. This story illustrates that one person's involvement with ill-gotten gain can have dire consequences for everyone connected to it. Even if you're not always aware of the backstory behind a gift, if your conscience is troubled, or if the Holy Spirit gives you a sense of unease, it's crucial to pay attention. There's a reason that an inner warning system exists. Ignoring it can lead to spiritual contamination. Let's relate this to modern life. Imagine receiving an extravagant gift, such as a luxury watch or an expensive piece of jewelry, only to later discover that it was bought with dirty money, perhaps from a fraudulent business deal or a drug-related transaction. even though you might have been unaware at the time of receipt. Continuing to wear or use such items after learning the truth ties you to the unrighteousness of its origins. It's not just about the physical object. It's about what it represents and the spiritual implications of holding on to it. The Bible is clear in Proverbs 15:27. He who is greedy for gain troubles his own house, but he who hates bribes will live. This passage serves as a reminder that the pursuit or acceptance of ill-gotten gain will inevitably bring trouble, not just to the individual, but to their entire household. So, what should you do if you find yourself in possession of such a gift? The answer is simple yet profound. Purge it from your life. If you learn that an item you've received has unrighteous roots, it's best to get rid of it. Whether it's a piece of jewelry, a car, or any other material possession, do not cling to it once you know the truth. Holding on to such items can create a spiritual foothold for darkness in your life, leading to unforeseen consequences. The wise course of action is to remove these items and cleanse your environment from their influence. Now, you might be thinking, but what if I didn't know? Am I still responsible? The answer lies in your response to the new knowledge. Once you are aware of the truth, you have a choice to make. Continuing to hold on to something that you now know is tainted is a conscious decision to accept the consequences that come with it. On the other hand, choosing to rid yourself of these ill-gotten gains is a step towards spiritual purity and protection. Remember, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, as Marcus Aurelius wisely noted. In the same way, our lives are influenced by the things we allow into them. Therefore, it is essential to ensure that what we accept and keep aligns with our values and principles. The lesson here is straightforward. Be discerning about the gifts and rewards you accept. Not all that glitters is gold, and not all gifts are blessings. Some carry hidden costs that far outweigh their apparent value. By being cautious and refusing the rewards of iniquity, you protect your spirit and maintain your integrity. The next time you're offered something that doesn't sit right with you, take a moment to consider its origins and the potential impact it could have on your life. Choose wisely, for the decisions you make today will shape the path you walk tomorrow. Number 5. Items from painful memories. We all have objects that hold memories, some filled with joy and others steeped in pain. But when a gift or memento is linked to a painful past, be it trauma, a broken relationship, or a time of deep sorrow, keeping it might do more harm than good. Imagine going through a traumatic divorce and your former spouse offers you a piece of jewelry as an apology. While the gesture might seem kind on the surface, for you, that item could symbolize betrayal, sadness, and the heartbreak of a broken marriage. Holding on to such a gift doesn't foster healing or closure. Instead, it keeps you tethered to the very pain you need to move beyond. In such situations, it's often healthier to politely decline the gift, explaining your reasons clearly and compassionately. There's wisdom in severing ties with symbols of past hurt. Consider another example. You've endured a tumultuous breakup with an abusive ex-partner, someone who brought chaos and pain into your life. The love notes, gifts, or keepsakes from that relationship no longer hold any positive value. Instead, they're stark reminders of the turmoil and mistreatment you suffered. These items can be more than just painful memories. They can act as anchors that keep you trapped in a cycle of emotional torment, preventing you from fully healing. Holding on to mementos from such dark times can also, in a spiritual sense, give ground for tormenting spirits to linger, keeping wounds open and festering. The best course of action is to let go of these items, those that symbolize emotional wounds, broken relationships, traumatic experiences, depression, fear, despair, addiction, abuse, and more. Of course, not every item from a difficult period in your life is inherently harmful. Some gifts given by loved ones during hard times might actually represent comfort, healing, and support. It's important to be discerning and listen to your intuition, or, as many would say, be led by the Spirit. There's no need to act out of fear or legalism. But there is power in recognizing when it's time to release nostalgic mementos that no longer serve you, especially those tied to oppression and pain. By doing so, you create space for inner healing to take place more freely, unburdened by the weight of the past. Now think about how this applies to your life. Have you ever held on to something, not because it brought you joy, but because you felt obligated to keep it, even though it stirred up negative emotions every time you saw it? Perhaps it's a piece of jewelry from an old flame, a photograph from a time you'd rather forget, or even a gift that was given with good intentions but now only serves as a reminder of a period you've moved past. Ask yourself, is keeping this item helping me heal, or is it keeping me stuck in the past? This open-ended question encourages introspection and can lead to a decision that promotes your emotional and spiritual well-being. It's important to acknowledge that letting go of these items isn't always easy. There might be a sense of guilt or fear about what it means to remove something so closely tied to your memories. But remember, healing often requires us to make space for the new by releasing the old. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The same applies here. By choosing to let go of items that no longer serve your growth, you take a significant step in reclaiming your peace and moving forward. Remember to be mindful of the things you choose to keep in your life, especially when they are linked to painful memories. Not all gifts are blessings, and not all mementos need to be held onto. By releasing these symbolic ties, you free yourself to fully embrace the present and the healing it offers. So, the next time you find yourself holding on to something from a difficult past, take a moment to consider whether it's helping or hindering your journey forward. If it's the latter, it may be time to let go and allow yourself to heal. Number 6. Items that compromise your integrity. In life, you may come across opportunities or gifts that, on the surface, seem too good to pass up. These might be expensive presents, career advancements, or other enticing offers, but they come with strings attached. Strings that could pull you away from your values and compromise your integrity. For instance, imagine your boss, who doesn't share your beliefs, promises you a promotion if you agree to stop sharing your faith at work. Or think of a scenario where a morally corrupt teacher offers you a passing grade in exchange for something inappropriate. As people striving to live by strong moral principles, it's crucial to recognize that no gift is worth accepting if it requires you to sacrifice your integrity. Jesus puts it plainly in Matthew 16:26. What will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? This is a powerful reminder that no material gain, no matter how luxurious or desirable, is worth the loss of your moral compass or eternal destiny. The cost of compromising your integrity is far too high. Let's delve deeper into this with a modern example. Suppose a wealthy friend offers you an all-expenses-paid trip to their luxurious beachside villa. It sounds like the perfect escape, until you arrive and discover that they are living in a way that goes against your core values. Perhaps their lifestyle is filled with immorality, and by accepting their hospitality, you are implicitly condoning their behavior. In such a situation, your best course of action would be to respectfully decline the offer and find a way to pay for your own accommodations. Why? Because staying silent in the face of wrongdoing can be seen as approval, and your integrity is not something to be bargained with. Another scenario might involve a music industry producer offering you a lucrative record deal, promising fame and fortune. But there's a catch. They want you to sell sex in your songs, videos, and stage persona. The temptation of stardom is strong, but deep down you know that promoting immorality isn't in line with your values. In moments like these, it's essential to remember that short-term success gained through compromising your beliefs will never lead to true fulfillment. Don't accept gifts or opportunities that require you to betray your convictions. Think about the temptation Jesus faced when the enemy offered him all the kingdoms of the world if he would only bow down and worship him. Despite the allure of power and glory, Jesus rejected the offer, knowing that the rewards from God are far greater and more lasting. This story is a powerful example for us all, no matter how appealing the offer might be. If it's designed to lead you away from your true purpose and integrity, it's a trap meant to steal your destiny. So, what would you do if faced with such choices? Would you be able to walk away from an offer that promises wealth or advancement, but requires you to compromise who you are? This is a question that everyone must answer for themselves, but the guidance is clear. Your integrity before God and your own conscience is priceless. No temporary pleasure, no matter how enticing, is worth trading your values and eternal destiny. The lesson here is to guard your integrity fiercely. In a world full of temptations and seemingly irresistible offers, it's easy to get caught up in the moment and make decisions that you later regret. But by keeping your eyes on the bigger picture, your long-term happiness, your moral standing, and your relationship with your own values, you can navigate these challenges with wisdom and grace. Don't settle for the fleeting rewards offered by those who would have you compromise your integrity. Instead, hold fast to your principles, knowing that true success and peace come from living a life that aligns with your deepest convictions. If you've made it this far, you're truly dedicated to living with integrity. Drop a comment saying, "I choose wisdom," to show you're committed to the Stoic path. Stick around, there's more powerful insight ahead. Number 7. Gifts that feed your ego. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. Seneca. As someone striving to live a life of purpose and integrity, it's crucial to recognize and resist gifts that feed your ego. These are the gifts that seem appealing and flattering at first glance, but they have a hidden cost. They subtly inflate your sense of pride and vanity. Whether it's an award given more for appearances than merit, praise that highlights your external beauty rather than your inner character, or material possessions that elevate your social status, these gifts can lead you down a dangerous path. Pride is a stealthy vice, creeping into your heart when you least expect it, and it can be the precursor to a fall from grace. The wisdom found in Proverbs 16:18 is timeless. Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. When you accept gifts that feed your ego, you risk becoming distracted from the humility and spiritual mission that should be at the core of your life. For instance, imagine being offered a leadership role, not because of your qualifications or capabilities, but because of your popularity or physical appearance. While this might initially feel gratifying, it can quickly lead to vanity and self-centeredness. Such a position, if accepted for the wrong reasons, can distort your sense of self-worth, making it dependent on external validation rather than the intrinsic value that comes from within. Consider another scenario. A wealthy admirer showers you with extravagant gifts, luxury items meant to impress or seduce you into a lifestyle of excess. These gifts might seem like blessings, but they carry the risk of leading you into materialism, focusing your attention on worldly pleasures rather than the deeper, more meaningful aspects of life. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminds us, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. When your thoughts are consumed by material wealth and the pursuit of luxury, your soul becomes tinted with those desires, distancing you from the true contentment that comes from within." There's also a subtle danger in becoming dependent on these ego-feeding gifts. When you start valuing yourself based on what others give you, whether it's praise, positions, or material possessions, you run the risk of losing sight of your true identity. You may even find yourself compromising your values, bending to the will of others to keep the flow of praise and gifts coming. This dependency can be corrosive, eroding the foundation of your character and leading you away from the person you are meant to be. In today's world, where social media and consumer culture constantly push us to seek validation through likes, follows, and material success, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring our worth by external standards. But as someone dedicated to living with integrity, you must resist this temptation. Embrace humility, recognizing that your true worth does not come from the accolades, gifts, or approval of others, but from a deeper, more enduring source. As Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your reaction to these ego-feeding gifts will determine whether they lead you astray or whether you remain grounded in your true values. Ask yourself, are these gifts helping me grow as a person, or are they just inflating my ego? Are they bringing me closer to the life I want to lead, or are they pulling me away from it? These open-ended questions are essential for self-reflection, guiding you to make decisions that align with your values and long-term goals. Be vigilant about the gifts you accept, especially those that play to your ego. The allure of such gifts can be strong, but remember that they are often temporary distractions from what truly matters. Your worth is not defined by what you possess or how others see you, but by your character, your actions, and the values you hold dear. Stay true to yourself and don't let the glitter of ego-feeding gifts lead you astray. True fulfillment comes not from the accolades of the world, but from living a life of integrity, humility, and purpose. Number 8. Gifts that foster dependency. One of the most dangerous traps you can fall into is accepting gifts that foster dependency. These are the gifts that, although they might seem generous and helpful on the surface, are actually designed to bind you to the giver, creating a reliance that can slowly erode your independence and freedom. It's important to recognize these gifts for what they are: a means of control rather than an act of genuine kindness. Consider the example of a wealthy friend offering to pay your rent or providing you with a steady stream of money, seemingly without any strings attached. At first, this might seem like a blessing, a way to ease financial burdens and provide a cushion during tough times. But over time, this well-intentioned help can create a dependency that weakens your resolve and undermines your ability to stand on your own. The risk here is that you become so reliant on this external support that you lose the motivation and drive to achieve self-sufficiency. In 2 Thessalonians 3:10, Paul reminds us of an important principle. "For even when we were with you, we gave you this rule: the one who is unwilling to work shall not eat." This verse underscores the value of diligence and responsibility. God's desire is for us to be self-reliant and to work towards our goals, not to become dependent on the generosity of others to the point where we lose our independence. Another aspect to consider is that gifts which create dependency can also be tools of manipulation. The giver may start to exert control over your decisions, expecting you to align your actions with their desires rather than following your own convictions. This can lead to a loss of freedom, where you feel indebted to them for their generosity and, as a result, find yourself compromising your integrity. For example, someone might offer you a place to stay indefinitely, which at first feels like a lifesaver. But over time, they might begin dictating how you live your life, who you spend time with, or even trying to influence your beliefs. Accepting such gifts can place you in a compromising position, where you must choose between your independence and your integrity. So, how do you avoid falling into this trap? The key is to remain vigilant and committed to self-reliance. It's perfectly fine to accept help when you need it, but it's crucial to do so with the intention of eventually standing on your own 2 feet. If someone offers you assistance, view it as a temporary support while you work towards regaining your independence. Don't allow yourself to become beholden to anyone in a way that compromises your freedom to make decisions based on your own values and God's will for your life. This means being aware of the subtle ways in which dependency can creep in and taking proactive steps to maintain your autonomy. Moreover, it's important to remember that true provision comes from God, not from any human source. Philippians 4:19 assures us, "And my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus." This is a powerful reminder that while people may offer help, our ultimate reliance should be on God. He is the one who provides for our needs in ways that are sustainable, and that do not compromise our integrity or independence. By placing your trust in God's provision and seeking to live a life of self-sufficiency, you can avoid the pitfalls of dependency and maintain the freedom to follow your own path. Now think about your own life. Have you ever accepted a gift that made you feel obligated or beholden to the giver? Did it change the way you made decisions or how you lived your life? These are important questions to ask yourself, as they help you recognize the subtle ways in which dependency can take hold. By being honest with yourself and assessing the true cost of such gifts, you can make wiser choices that align with your values and long-term goals. Be cautious of gifts that seem to offer comfort or ease, but come with the hidden cost of dependency. While it's natural to seek help in times of need, it's essential to do so in a way that preserves your independence and integrity. Trust in God's provision, work diligently towards self-sufficiency, and be wary of becoming reliant on others in ways that could lead to manipulation or loss of freedom. By doing so, you'll be able to navigate life's challenges with confidence, knowing that your path is guided by your own convictions and faith. Number 9. Gifts that fuel division. Another most subtle but dangerous type of gifts you can encounter are those that fuel division among friends, family, or within your community. These gifts may appear generous or thoughtful on the surface, but their underlying purpose is to sow discord, jealousy, or rivalry. As someone striving to live with integrity and wisdom, it's crucial to recognize these divisive gifts and avoid them, for your role is to be a peacemaker, not a participant in conflict. Think about a scenario where someone gives you an extravagant gift in the presence of others who receive nothing. While this might make you feel special momentarily, consider the impact it has on those around you. Such a gesture can easily breed feelings of jealousy and resentment among those who feel overlooked or undervalued. The giver may be using this tactic intentionally, knowing that by elevating you above others, they can create a rift in your relationships. This kind of manipulation through gifting is a classic strategy to stir up conflict and drive a wedge between people who might otherwise live in harmony. Proverbs 16:28 offers wisdom on this. A perverse person stirs up conflict, and a gossip separates close friends. Accepting gifts that are designed to cause division not only jeopardizes your relationships, but also risks breaking the unity that you should be working to maintain. Another example of this kind of divisive gifting could be when someone offers you support or resources, but with strings attached. Perhaps they expect you to take their side in a dispute or align with their views against another person or group. While the offer of support may seem helpful, it's a trap that can entangle you in unnecessary drama and conflict, pulling you away from your true purpose. Accepting such a gift can lead you into a situation where you are no longer a neutral party, but a participant in a conflict that doesn't serve you or your principles. As someone dedicated to fostering peace and understanding, your goal should always be to build bridges, not walls. Ephesians 4:3 reminds us to make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. If accepting a gift threatens to disrupt this unity, it's wiser to decline and seek ways to promote peace instead. Moreover, accepting gifts that fuel division can also damage your reputation and undermine your integrity. People watch the choices you make, and if they see you accepting gifts that contribute to discord, they may begin to question your commitment to the values you profess, including your dedication to living out Christ's teachings. Your actions, including the gifts you choose to accept or reject, send a powerful message about what you stand for. Being seen as someone who fosters division rather than unity can weaken your witness and diminish the positive influence you might otherwise have in your community. It's essential to strive always to be an example of love, unity, and peace, even if it means making the difficult decision to refuse certain gifts. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever received a gift that made others feel excluded or caused tension within your circle? How did you handle that situation? Open-ended questions like these can help you reflect on your past decisions and guide you in making wiser choices in the future. The lesson here is clear. Avoid gifts that are intended to create division, and instead, focus on being a unifying force in your community. By doing so, you not only protect your relationships, but also uphold the principles of integrity, peace, and unity that are so vital to living a fulfilling and purposeful life. It's crucial to be discerning about the gifts you receive. Gifts that seem generous but carry the potential to divide are not worth the cost of broken relationships and fractured communities. As someone who aspires to live a life of wisdom and peace, your actions, including the gifts you accept, should always contribute to harmony and understanding among those around you. By refusing divisive gifts and choosing instead to promote unity, you reflect the love and peace that are at the heart of a meaningful life. Thank you for being part of today's video. Before we move forward, I want to express my gratitude for your participation in our community. Your presence here truly matters. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, or simply type, "I am a newbie," if you're just joining us, or "I am a Stoic," if you've been with us for a while. Your interaction is a huge motivation for us. Let's continue this journey together, shall we? Number 10. Gifts that entice you into sin. He who does not resist evil gifts prevents evil orders from being obeyed. Marcus Aurelius. In life, there are gifts that, while seemingly attractive and tempting, carry with them the seeds of moral compromise. These are the gifts that lure you towards actions and behaviors that can lead you away from your principles, your integrity, and ultimately, your faith. As someone who strives to live with purpose and moral clarity, it's crucial to recognize and reject these gifts no matter how appealing they may seem on the surface. The responsibility to guard your heart and mind against anything that might cause you to stumble in your journey is paramount. Consider the example of someone offering you substances such as alcohol, drugs, or other addictive items. These might be presented as harmless fun, a way to unwind, or simply as a social norm, but the reality is that they can lead to destructive behaviors and addiction. Engaging with these substances not only harms your body and mind, but also dishonors the values you hold dear. Another scenario might involve receiving an invitation to an event or party where sinful behavior is encouraged or expected. This could be a gathering where excessive drinking, sexual immorality, or other behaviors that contradict your core beliefs are the norm. While the invitation itself may appear as a friendly gesture or an opportunity to socialize, accepting it could place you in a situation where you are tempted to compromise your values. These moments are often disguised as harmless fun, but they can be the very traps that lead you down a path of regret and moral compromise. Similarly, you might be offered access to explicit content, whether it's in the form of movies, magazines, or online material. Engaging with such content might seem like a private indulgence, but it has profound effects on your thoughts and behavior. As Matthew 5:28 warns, "But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart." Exposure to explicit material can corrupt your mind and lead you down a path that distances you from your values and your spiritual journey. It's a slippery slope, one that begins with a seemingly small compromise, but can lead to significant moral consequences. Financial temptations also fall under this category. Imagine being offered a get-rich-quick scheme or a lucrative business opportunity that involves cutting ethical corners or engaging in dishonest practices. The allure of quick wealth can be strong, especially in a world that often equates success with financial gain. However, the warning in 1 Timothy 6:9 is clear. Those who want to get rich fall into temptation and a trap, and into many foolish and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. Pursuing wealth through unethical means is not just risky business, it's a dangerous path that can lead to spiritual and moral decay. In all these cases, the key is to stay firmly grounded in your faith and values. It's essential to recognize when a gift, no matter how tempting, could lead you down a path of sin. Reject these gifts outright, understanding that your relationship with God and your commitment to living a righteous life are far more valuable than any temporary pleasure or material possession. The struggle against these temptations is real, but by staying vigilant and guarding your heart, you can choose the path of righteousness over the allure of sin. Ask yourself, what is the true cost of accepting this gift? Does it bring me closer to the life I want to lead, or does it pull me away from my values and my faith? These questions are crucial in helping you navigate the complexities of life's temptations. Remember, the decisions you make today shape the person you become tomorrow. By refusing gifts that entice you into sin, you are not only protecting your integrity, but also ensuring that your journey remains aligned with your highest principles. Be wary of gifts that seem to offer pleasure or gain, but come with the hidden price of moral compromise. Your values, your faith, and your integrity are worth far more than anything the world can offer. Stay true to yourself, refuse the gifts that lead you astray, and remain steadfast in your commitment to a life of righteousness and purpose. In today's modern society, gift-giving has evolved into a deeply ingrained custom within romantic relationships. Whether it's for birthdays, anniversaries, or significant milestones like the day you first met or started dating, the act of exchanging gifts has become a way to express affection and appreciation. The nature and value of these gifts often vary, influenced by one's financial situation and the depth of the relationship. People take time to select what they believe will bring joy to their partner, hoping to strengthen the bond they share. However, the process of choosing the right gift is not always straightforward. A gift that may seem thoughtful to one person could be perceived as inappropriate or insensitive by the other, leading to misunderstandings or even hurt feelings. In some cases, the wrong choice of a gift can create tension, or worse, damage the relationship. This is why it's crucial to approach gift-giving with care and consideration, taking into account the preferences, values, and circumstances of your partner. Thoughtfulness in gift selection not only shows your partner that you know them well, but also demonstrates respect and sensitivity toward their feelings. Ultimately, the key to successful gift-giving in a relationship lies in understanding and empathy. By putting genuine thought into the gifts you give, you can ensure that they resonate positively with your partner, reinforcing your connection and contributing to a healthy and loving relationship. When it comes to giving gifts in a romantic relationship, it's important to choose wisely. The wrong gift can inadvertently send a negative message and potentially harm the relationship. One category of gifts to avoid is anything related to weight loss or weight gain. These types of gifts, such as diet books, workout equipment, or even weight loss supplements, can imply that you're not satisfied with your partner's appearance. Even if your intentions are good, such gifts can be misunderstood and may lead to hurt feelings or insecurity. It's crucial to focus on gifts that celebrate your partner for who they are, rather than suggesting they need to change. Remember, the goal of gift-giving in a relationship is to show love and appreciation, not to cause doubt or discomfort. It's best to avoid giving overly sensitive or intimate gifts. Gifts that are too personal or related to body and sexual matters, like lingerie or deodorant, are not suitable for someone you've just met or are currently dating. These types of gifts can easily be perceived as inappropriate or offensive, and in some cases, they might even damage your relationship. To maintain respect and avoid misunderstandings, it's wise to steer clear of these kinds of sensitive gifts. Gifts related to money. When it comes to love, money or similar gifts should be approached with caution. Gifts that involve money, such as cash, property deeds, or highly valuable items, are not advisable in the early stages of a relationship. It's important to remember that a gift is not an accurate measure of someone's feelings. In the beginning, the focus should be on building a genuine connection, not on impressing each other with expensive presents. True affection is shown through actions, shared experiences, and the time spent together, not through material wealth. Let the relationship grow naturally, allowing your bond to strengthen without the pressure of financial expectations. Gifts that symbolize separation. When it comes to gift-giving in a relationship, it's important to be mindful of the symbolism behind certain items. For instance, handkerchiefs are often associated with farewells and tears, making them a gift to avoid when you're in a romantic relationship. Similarly, items like shoes are believed by some to represent walking away or parting ways. Because of these associations, it's best to steer clear of such gifts if you're thinking of giving something to your loved one. Instead, Choose something that symbolizes unity and togetherness, reinforcing the bond you share rather than hinting at separation. To choose the perfect gift, it's always a good idea to seek advice from the person's close friends or family members, as they can provide valuable insights into their likes and preferences. Taking the time to understand the recipient's tastes, hobbies, and style can go a long way in ensuring that your gift is both thoughtful and appreciated. Additionally, it's important to keep your budget in mind and select a gift that reflects your intention without causing financial strain. Be cautious of gifts that could be misinterpreted or carry negative or sensitive meanings, as these might not convey the positive sentiment you're aiming for. Thoughtfulness and consideration are key in making sure your gift is well received and truly meaningful. As we wrap up this video, it's important to understand that the principles we've explored are not just abstract ideas. They are practical tools that you can apply to your daily life to safeguard your inner peace, maintain your integrity, and stay aligned with your true purpose. The gifts you choose to accept or reject have the potential to influence not just your immediate circumstances, but the entire trajectory of your life. Every decision you make about what to allow into your life reflects your values and shapes your character. By remaining vigilant, discerning, and deeply rooted in your principles, you empower yourself to navigate life with wisdom and strength, ensuring that nothing distracts you from your journey of personal growth and fulfillment. I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever been offered a gift that challenged your values or tempted you to compromise your integrity? How did you respond, and what did you learn from that experience? Sharing these insights can be incredibly powerful, both for your own reflection and for others who might be facing similar situations. I invite you to share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Let's create a space where we can learn from each other and grow together. If you found value in this video, I'd appreciate it if you could give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit from these insights. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Stoic in Your Life, where we delve deeper into how ancient wisdom can guide us through modern challenges. By subscribing and hitting the notification bell, you'll ensure that you never miss out on our upcoming content designed to support you on your Stoic journey. Thank you for taking the time to watch and engage with this video. Your commitment to living a life of purpose and integrity is inspiring, and I'm honored to be part of your journey. Remember, each day presents new opportunities to apply these principles, and with each mindful choice, you are building a life that reflects the best version of yourself. Stay strong, stay true to your values, and continue to walk the path of wisdom and growth.